I'm going to show you how to do some rotational core work with a resistance band and a post. So first thing that you do, wrap the resistance band around, then through the loop here, and pull tight so you have some tension. Now next we're going to do a series of Pallof presses. So Pallof presses are an anti-rotation core exercise. So that means that your abs, your core, your obliques, that means that everything around your core, from your abs to your obliques, to even your lats, because you're using your arms, you want your lats to stabilize, which also attach to your core, and you're preventing your body from moving. So this band is providing resistance that's trying to pull me this way, although I'm using my abs and my obliques to prevent it from pulling me. So I have the band in my hand like this, and I'm going to just pull a little bit out. I'm locking in my lats. I'm now bracing my abs, contracting, and I can really feel my left side oblique here. Now the pressing part of the Pallof press comes in, which makes it a little bit easier because you can get everything in a bit tighter, and presses out, and that makes it a little bit harder. Don't forget to breathe and keep bracing as well. Now if you want to make it easier, you just step a little bit closer because there's less resistance provided from the band. If you want to make it harder, you step further away. Another great variation of this exercise is doing it in a split stance. It helps a little bit more with balance, and you could argue that it helps in more athletic population as well because you're in that split stance, which a lot of sports require. The setup is pretty much the same, but you get into your comfortable split stance. You can also do these very slow, and some people like to hold isometrically at the top and fully exhale so you can feel your abs contract really hard as you breathe out. Now, it doesn't matter too much where the band is on the post. Starting off, I tend to put it at a mid-height around where your torso is, but if you want to change it up, target different parts of your obliques a little bit more than the rest. You can put it lower, or you can put it higher. You can also do the Pallof press in a half kneeling position. This is a great variation for beginners, but also people who have weak cores and are really starting from the ground up. And this is because a half kneeling stance gives you 3 points of contact instead of 2. You have your front foot, your back foot, and your knee, all giving you stability into the ground. Next up, you can also do this full kneeling. So you'll notice I'm trying to stand tall. I'm not cheating using my lower back. That is not what we want. Anytime we're doing an abdominal exercise, we do not want our lower back compensated. In fact, we want the opposite. It's important that you stay stacked joint by joint. So take a look here. My knees, my hips, my shoulders should all be stacked when I'm doing this. It's easy to cheat with your lower back, and you'll actually feel it if you're too far back. while you're doing this exercise. And that is the opposite of what we want. This is because your spinal erectors do this motion, whereas your abs do two things. One, they can actually flex, which is the opposite motion of extension. And if you're bracing very hard and activating your abs, they also do anti-extension, so preventing you from going backwards. Full kneeling looks something like this. Keep in mind that you don't have to just do pressing outwards and inwards for a traditional Pallof press. It's actually great for your core to be exposed to different stimuluses, different ranges of motion, different movement patterns, all within this exercise. You'll be able to target and feel different parts of the obliques and the abs. So, for example, the regular Pallof press that we were doing is just in and out. However, we can also move our arms in to make it easier, all the way out to make it harder. Now keep in mind, I'm still not rotating here. This is anti-rotation. So I'm not rotating with the band. My core is tight and my arms are moving around it. A really fun variation is picking a word or maybe your name or anything from the alphabet and draw out the letters in the air. That way you get a whole bunch of different stimulus and range of motion and you'll really feel your obliques lighting up. So something like this. And again, you don't have to just do that standing. You can do that in your split stance. You can do that half kneeling. You can do it full kneeling. You can do it however you need to really feel your abs. If you start to feel anything like your lower back or any muscle group that isn't your abs working, switch it up, try different variations, and find the one that allows you to feel your core the most.